Every January we are flooded with new trends, new colors, new materials, new must-haves, new everything. Even though I enjoy seeing what's new in trends, it can be overwhelming. If you're not new here, then you know that I'm not a fan of following trends, because I believe when you are creating your home, you should focus more on long-lasting things that are in tune with your personality and your way of living. Still, trends are fun. They can serve as inspiration. Instead of showing you everything that's going on, I have picked 9 trends that I think can be beneficial for our spaces. So we'll be looking at trends from Vogue, Elle Decor, and Pinterest products. Hi, I'm Maja. If you are new here, I am a designer. I care deeply about how interiors make us feel and how they can improve our lives. I also care about environment, so when it comes to trends and consumerism, I'm pretty skeptical. So I saw a real potential in these 9 trends that we can talk about now. Let's start with style icon, which is Vogue. First trend that was mentioned in the article and that I have also seen in other sources is lived-in interiors. And to be honest, I find it pretty absurd that it's even a trend. Yeah, we all live in interiors, but finally magazines and visual representation of interior design won't be focusing only on staging the interiors for photo shoots, and actually it will show the real interiors, which also means that we can embrace the imperfection. I think this trend is amazing. It really resonates with what I'm talking about. It's about functional decor. It's about mixing different styles, making space your own, and it allows the interior to evolve over time. I really love this trend, and even though I find it absurd, I'm glad that narration changes in the media and that this is something that is talked about. Second trend from Vogue is wood, also seen in other sources, and it's something that was in trends last year. Luckily, interior design trends aren't as fast as fashion trends, which gives me some hope for our society. But dark woods and also browns as colors are in trends, and I love it. Wood is natural material. It is beneficial for how we feel in space, and warmer tones help us to feel more safe in the space, and they have calming effect on us. Adding wood to a space is not only aesthetically interesting and inspiring maybe, but also it is beneficial in other ways. It brings warmth, it brings natural element. Wood also has this ability to show you a history. So actually I think these 2 trends go hand in hand with lived-in interiors. It's a high quality material that can serve you years, and also it's a material that you can easily find secondhand. You can look for some vintage wooden furniture and find a trendy item that isn't new, which I find most exciting in all of it. Third and last trend from Vogue that I want to bring to your attention is textile wall hangings. It's about the need for warmth, adding some softness to your space, additional interest, not only visual but also tactile. Also, it benefits the acoustics of the space, so it can be beneficial to how you feel in a space. This one trend can change how the interior feels. It's additional way to add more fabrics into your space, and this benefits acoustics, this benefits warmth, this benefits the feeling of coziness in a space, and also it's an interesting addition. I also like it because it brings from the past it is inspired by past traditions and older interior settings, but it's really easily applied to modern design, and it is really, really versatile. Next, we have Elle Decor, and the first trend I want to point out is silver and chrome. Even though metals are cold and harsh materials, I really like this trend because when you place it next to warm wood, it creates this interest, this contrast that makes your space more diversified within textures, within materials, also within colors, because silver and chrome are colder and warm wood, it matches perfectly. Personally, as you can see also, I'm a silver girl, so this just makes sense for me. I like when trends complement each other, and here I really believe it's a perfect match. Additionally, adding metals to your space, specifically chrome, will help you make your space brighter because chrome can reflect the light and it will just add more reflections, more brightness to your space. Next trend from Elle Decor that I like is also connected to brightness and is a glass block wall. I love it. It reminds me of modernism. It is an interesting touch to your walls and to the structure of your interiors, and it helps you to create divisions within the space without full light blockages. I hope you know what I mean. I also find it really interesting. You can find different finishes of glass blocks and it can itself work as visual interest in a space. It can add privacy to your room without making it fully done. I find it really practical and also beautiful. If done correctly, of course. This goes always. Last trend from Elle Decor that, once again, I'm not sure if it should be a trend, but it is. It is listed as one, and I believe I have seen it also in other sources. This year we are putting our focus on good craftsmanship and high quality. They also reference quiet luxury, but I believe it doesn't have to be connected to class separations. I will come back to this topic in a minute. But what's this trend about? It's about longevity, it's about sustainability, it's about high quality, it's about investing in your interiors and making sure that things you buy will serve you for years, that they are made with care, that they are made to last. And this is why I'm not sure if it even can be a trend, because this should be a norm, this should be basic. Unfortunately, it's not. But it's in trend, so maybe it will come back to us after years. You know, not so long ago it was the norm. But with fast furniture and fast trends, you know, we are where we are. I'm glad it's something we are talking about. Why I don't believe it's fully about quiet luxury. Yes, quiet luxury is something that we should strive for because it's about quality and it's about doing it humbly, not bragging about it, but because luxury is expensive and quiet luxury is perceived as something that is available only to rich. It often is a controversy, and I don't think it should be. I believe we have means, all of us, to find good quality items for less, and also at the same time, when it comes to home, we should invest in it. Price is not the key, the quality is key here. I'm sure that there are so many high quality items to be found on the second-hand market, which is cheaper because in the past it was a norm to create something that is high quality and that will last years and years and years. Once again, this is a trend that you can find secondhand, which will help you to save money in the long run. And by investing in what you have at your home, you are making sure that you won't have to replace it. We are creating homes not only for one season, but for years and years. Additionally, I'm not only about furniture, because if you are renting, then it's different situation, but it also comes to smaller items, to decor, to functional pieces, boxes, plates, like everything. A trend that shouldn't really be a trend. And lastly, we have Pinterest predicts trend report for upcoming year. And this year, in this trend report, they had 3 trends that were strictly about interior design. I think all of them are beneficial, and I find all of them interesting in some way. Probably they are less flexible than the ones from Vogue and from Elle Decor. First trend from Pinterest is Elle Decor, which is a modern spin on the Art Deco. The attention to details in the era of Art Deco was perfection. The beauty in geometric shapes, and even though it's a trend that seems more glamour, and it's not actually my style, I still find the craftsmanship of Art Deco perfection. So I really like this trend because you can find some pieces in this style painted. They will be pricey, but this is a huge inspiration, especially in patterns. Also, it's about metals, about shiny finishes. So the trend of silver and chrome comes here to attention. And I believe that adding this trend in details and in smaller ways to your interior can make it more elevated, can add some elegance to your space, and it can make it more interesting. Next trend from Pinterest is FunHaus. Personally, not at all my style, but I think this trend shows a great way of adding personality to your space in a balanced way. It's about taking inspiration from vintage circus. It's about stripes. It's about ruffles. I think it's called ruffles. About funkier shapes, but all of it in pastel colors. I think it allows you this playful accent without making your space too chaotic, too overwhelming. It can be a really good inspiration for someone that wants to add funkier spin their interior and that like this type of decor. It's about mixing bold elements with calmer color palette. And lastly, we have Afrohemian decor. It's bohemian style with Afro influences. I love this trend, but I wouldn't apply it in my interior. I love this trend because it allows you to bring in inspiration from more cultures, but also from folklore. And the way that I would approach this trend is to find some heritage in your area, in your region, and bring in inspiration from there. I don't like taking inspiration that isn't local. For example, boathouse in mountain setting wouldn't work. And here I feel it would be a similar situation. Although there are many subtle ways that you can still be inspired by other cultures and bring these elements into your space through patterns or through colors, through smaller decor pieces. Still, I would advise you, and actually the worth that I find in this trend is by being inspired by the folklore and by bringing more personality from history and drawing inspiration from the past to make it more authentic. And this was the last trend. To be honest, when I was looking at different magazines, different inspirations, I find that many of trends were overlapping with what was trending last year, which actually makes me happy. Hopefully trends won't influence our home as fast and as extremely as they do our wardrobe. I had one more idea. I thought I could go through all the Pinterest predicts for 2026 and I would try to apply non-interior related trends to interiors. This could be a fun challenge, so let me know. What do you think about it, and if you would be interested in something like this? Also, let me know if you want a deep dive in other trends, maybe in one specific trend, what to do, how to implement it, whatever you want from me, let me know in the comments. If you are interested, I have a whole playlist that is called Inside Trends, where I dive into some trends, and I have done it last year. As I said, many of the trends are coming back or staying, so it may be interesting. Also, it may be interesting to see what's changing. If this video was interesting to you, leave a like. If you want to see more from me, subscribe. And I will see you soon. Bye!